So, you're American. Well, guess what? Some places in the world don't exactly roll out the red carpet for folks from the USA. Shocking, right? You might think Americans are popular everywhere after all. Hollywood and pop culture have made the US a global icon. But in some places, there's a distinct chill when it comes to US citizens. Ready to discover where and why? Stay tuned, and if this piques your curiosity, give this video a thumbs up so we can dive even deeper into these stories. Alright, buckle up, because we're about to explore the 10 countries where Americans are not welcome in 2024, each story more surprising than the last. Number 10, Myanmar. Let's begin with Myanmar, a country cloaked in mystery and ancient allure. Imagine you're flipping through an old, weathered travel guide filled with breathtaking images of golden pagodas and serene landscapes. But as you turn the pages, warnings start appearing, cautionary notes scrawled hastily in red ink. Unstable military conflict, high-risk phrases that dampen the fantasy. Myanmar, with its population of just under 55 million, has taken a dramatic turn since a military coup in 2021. Once a gem for travelers, now a place fraught with civil unrest and even violent crackdowns. For Americans, it's not just about watching out for the turbulence, it's navigating a near-impossible visa process, only to find yourself in a land where the very atmosphere feels heavy with caution. Imagine planning a dream trip only to be told at every turn, enter at your own risk. That's Myanmar in 2024 for American travelers, a haunted travel guide filled with striking beauty but shadowed by a dangerous reality. Number 9, Yemen. Dear traveler, welcome to Yemen, a land of rare beauty and ancient heritage where every stone tells a story older than time. But here's a reality check. This postcard perfect view hides a much darker picture. Yemen has been ravaged by conflict since 2015 with a humanitarian crisis so severe it's hard to imagine. As an American, you're greeted not with warm hospitality but with warnings: civil unrest, terrorism, kidnappings. These are the words stamped across every would-be visitor's plans. Even if you're brave enough to get a visa, good luck with that, you'll sense the underlying tension. Yemenis have faced years of struggle, and past US actions have made Americans less than ideal visitors. This postcard from Yemen? It's beautiful, yes, but it's also a stark reminder that sometimes what you don't see is more powerful than what you do. Number 8, Somalia. Next on our list, we head to Somalia. Picture it as a high-stakes casino where each choice is a risk, each step a bet. Somalia is a land of extreme odds, a place where every decision could tip the scales in an instant. For Americans, it's like stepping onto the casino floor where the stakes are unusually high. Somalia's challenges are deeply rooted in political instability, and in 2022, the US even deployed soldiers back to Somalia to combat the insurgent group Al-Shabaab. This move might have helped from a strategic perspective, but for regular Americans, it's like sitting down at a blackjack table with stacked odds against you. Imagine facing a visa process that feels like threading a needle on a moving train. And even if you win that round, stepping into Somalia brings security risks that could easily go from theoretical to dangerously real. In Somalia, the odds are rarely in your favor. Number 7, Venezuela. Welcome to Venezuela, a place of immense natural beauty where mountains meet oceans and the music of life feels palpable. But for Americans, visiting Venezuela is like walking on fragile glass. One wrong step and everything could shatter. Relations between the US and Venezuela are strained, to put it mildly. Decades of political and economic tension have created a setting where Americans feel like outsiders in an uneasy room. Think of a visa process that's less about paperwork and more about passing through an emotional minefield. Even once you're inside, the daily costs and underlying tension can make every interaction feel delicate. It's a place of contrasts, where Americans who live there sense the beauty but also feel the tension, like being a guest in a house where every move could trigger something unexpected. Number 6, Libya. Libya. If you're imagining a country shaped by plot twists, intrigue, and layers upon layers of complexity, you're not far off. Libya is like an ancient labyrinth, each turn offering both fascination and danger, but for Americans, it's a maze where few can find a safe path. Since the 2012 attack on the US mission in Benghazi, the relationship between Libya and the United States has only grown more complicated. Imagine trying to get a visa that feels like a cryptic puzzle, where each piece of red tape is a reminder of strained relations. And if you do manage to step through the maze, you find a country that's breathtaking yet unpredictable, a land where just being American draws eyes and raises questions. Libya's beauty is undeniable, but for Americans, the Maze of Intrigue and the layered history make it a place where the risk often outweighs the reward. Number 5. Syria. Syria, a place of legends, a place where history breathes through every stone and whispers of ancient times fill the air. But Syria in 2024 is more than echoes of an ancient civilization. It's a harsh reality shaped by a relentless civil war. The U.S. Department of State advises Americans not to go, and the reasons aren't subtle: terrorism, unrest, even the very real possibility of kidnapping. Imagine the process of trying to get into Syria as a silent, labyrinthine journey through the shadows of history. The visa application alone feels like it's been crafted to make you hesitate, to remind you of the complicated chess game between nations. Even if you do make it in, you'll feel the weight of suspicion and unrest at every step. Syria, with its haunting ruins and echoes of a lost era, remains beautiful but inaccessible, a place where the past feels more alive than the present, and Americans are outsiders in a troubled story. Number 4. Afghanistan. Afghanistan, with a history that reads like a dramatic saga, it's a place where tales of resilience and conflict are woven together. But for Americans, Afghanistan isn't just another chapter in a travel story, it's a stark cautionary tale. With a population of around 38 million, Afghanistan has endured decades of geopolitical tension, often involving the U.S. The State Department doesn't just suggest caution, it says, "Do not travel," and the reasons are clear. Americans are prime targets for terrorism and kidnappings here. Imagine booking a flight and finding out you're on the most wanted list for groups you didn't even know existed. The visa process for Afghanistan. It's daunting, and if you get in, you're faced with a reality where every step feels calculated, every move weighed. Afghanistan is a land of legacy and struggle, and for Americans, it's a story where the risks far outweigh the rewards. Number 3. Iraq. Iraq, a country rich in history, sits at a crossroads of cultures and conflicts. But for Americans, visiting Iraq is like stepping into a tense storyline where every moment has weight. With a population of about 40 million, Iraq has had a long and complex relationship with the United States, especially after the 2003 invasion. Imagine trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. That's how the visa process can feel here. And even if you manage to get in, the security situation is a constant reminder that Iraq is still grappling with its own battles. It's a place where Americans are reminded of the cost of history, a place where the past shapes the present, and tension is woven into the very fabric of daily life. Number 2. Iran. Iran, it's a place where history meets breathtaking landscapes, but for Americans, it's also a place where old wounds haven't quite healed. Relations soured way back in 1979 with the Iran hostage crisis, and since then, the US and Iran have had a frosty relationship. Imagine trying to get a visa for Iran. It's more like navigating an emotional maze than completing paperwork. And once you're in, even the simplest tasks like paying for something become challenging. Forget about using your credit card, it's cash only here. But beyond the logistics, there's a feeling that lingers, a weight in the air. For Americans, Iran is a reminder of past tensions and present caution. And while the culture and history are undeniably rich, the feeling that you're an outsider in a complex story is even richer. Number 1. North Korea. And here we are at the top of the list, North Korea. Imagine North Korea as the ultimate forbidden zone, a place as mysterious as it is closed off. With a population of 25 million, North Korea is a country of secrets. For Americans, it's less a travel destination and more like a locked door that few dare to open. Since 2017, the US has practically banned its citizens from visiting, and for good reason. Remember Otto Warmbier, the American student who was detained for allegedly stealing a poster and later died? His tragic story is a reminder of how dangerous a visit here can be. If you somehow find a way in, every movement is controlled. Want to talk to a local? Forbidden. Want to joke about the leadership? Absolutely not. For Americans, visiting North Korea is like walking through a hall of mirrors where nothing is as it seems and every step feels like it could be the last.